Miss Rajshri Sharma, working as Assistant Professor in School of Business and Management, Jaipur National University. Welcome you again to our second tutorial of the subject Principle and Practices of Management. I hope you people are safe at your places, and this platform will provide you a help, a guidance to your studies in your coming lectures. So today we will first have a glimpse of what we have already completed in our first tutorial. We have completed the concept of management, the nature of management, functions of management, and now in this tutorial we will cover the level of management. We will try to cover the kinds of manager, and in an upcoming lectures or tutorial we can say we will be covering the role of manager, what company looks for in a manager. So in our last class we have discussed about the functions, that it starts with planning, it again stands with organizing, then stuffing, and then directing, and it ends with controlling. But this process keeps on rotating simultaneously in the organization. But all these efforts are not successfully going to accomplish unless there is one thing that is linking as a chain between every element or every function of management, that is coordination. So whether it's planning, organizing, stuffing, directing, controlling, you need coordination between the management. So a famous writer, Henry Farrell, gave a definition to the word coordination. He said, to coordinate is to harmonize all the activities of a concern so as to facilitate its working and its success. So it is very necessary to have coordination from the very initial stage of management that we call as planning. Planning will lead to a successful stuffing only with there is a coordination between whether it's a levels of management, whether it's a departmental wise, whether it's a unit wise, in fact between the employees. Coordination is required everywhere. Nowadays it is said a good manager is known by the coordination he keeps with his team. So it has become mandatory that coordination is an essence for a good or a skillful management. So whatever functioning you are performing, you require coordination as a source for a good uplifted management. So in today's tutorial, our main focus will be the levels of management. What the levels of management? In your screen you can see there is number of peoples in different hierarchy. Every organizations have different people working at different level. In basic term, you people will be studying as per your syllabus are the 3 levels, but in the practical scenario there are different levels. In managers also, like for example we can take, if we discuss about the income, we call it a upper income, a middle income, or a lower income. But there are bifurcation in upper level, there is bifurcation in middle level, upper middle class, lower middle class. Similarly, in practical scenario, there are different levels. But in your syllabus, we will be talking about only 3 levels as an aggregated, that is the top level management, the middle level management, and the lower level management. So there is a definition, or we can say a meaning to the word level of management. The term level of management refers to a line of demarcation between various managerial positions in an organization. The number of level in management increase when the size of the business and workforce increases, and vice versa. The level of management determines a chain of command, the amount of authority and status enjoyed by a managerial position. So in simple language, this definition can be stated that every organization has a level, but it depends how much authority and responsibility as delegated to which level of management. For example, if you are a sole proprietor business organization, here the top level manager is also executing the thing that he or she, whosoever is working according to what level he is working as a top manager, a lower level manager. So for a sole proprietor, the owner will be the manager, the owner will be the layman, the owner will be the planner of the organization. But if we are talking about a multinational corporation, or a person who is having lot many of people working under, in simple language we can summarize this definition as that levels of management depends upon the size of the organization. For example, if you are a sole proprietor organization where a single owner is handling everything in the organization, then that single owner will be working as a top manager, a middle level manager, as well as the lower level manager, because for his business he will be organizing the plannings, he will be managing the resources, and he only will be laying the work that needs to be done. So depending on your size, but when you move to a multinational corporation where there are lot many of activities, lot many of projects running on, you cannot depend on a single person. At that time these levels comes into existence. The top level managers work for the planning purpose. The middle level, who is the link between the top and the lower, executes the functions that were established in the top level management, and the lower level, who are really the workers who will be working the plans from in the top management, depends on the size of the organization. So every level has some kind of authority and responsibility associated with one another. The level, the hierarchy you are achieving depends on your authority and your responsibility. So if we are moving further, you can see this is the statistical diagram of your levels. The senior management comes under the top level management. They are basically the policy maker or the strategist of the company. They execute more on planning, the external affairs studies, and they are the policy former of the company. If you see the second level, in that the middle level, you will be basically seeing the managers of the organization upon depending on different divisions, different departments. They are basically the followers or the procedure implementators, or you can say they are working as the tactic level of the management. The third stage is the call as the line manager, or you can say the first line manager, who is another name for them is the operational manager, because they are the real executor of the plans, policies, strategies formed by the top level management. So basically in your syllabus will be dealing with three levels of management, that is the top level management, the middle level management, and the lower level management. So in our further slides, now we will be discussing their definition, the persons who are in these levels and their functions. First, we will take the top level management. Top level of management consists of all the people who are at the highest position in the organization and contributes to the process of planning and staffing. The top level of management consists of CEO, Chief Executive Officers, Chief Finance Officer, Managing Directors, etc. So these are basically those persons who are the holder of position as the planner, strategist for the company. They work for the planning purpose and their work is for a long duration of years. They study past records, they make analysis, they then give you an implementation what need to be done in a coming years, that is for the next year, that 5 years. They are basically the policy makers of the company. So what functions they basically do, let's have a look on that. Functions of top level management. The first and the foremost function of a top manager is to analyze, evaluate, and deal with the external environmental forces. The top manager deals with the environment. The environment, when we are talking about external, is the pestle. That is political, economical, social, technological, logical. These are the factors which are affecting your business, not directly but indirectly, and they are beyond the control of the management. So these analysts focus on these factors, that how to study these economics, the political scenario, the environmental scenario. Like for example, if we're taking about today's era, COVID is an uncontrollable factor. So management need to work on how to cope up. Our organization took a decision of these platform, the online platform. This is the function of top level management. So cope with the environmental factor, that where we could not ask students to come for the physical education. Okay, so second is to establish overall long-term goals, strategy and policies of the company, including the master budget to allocate resources. Top level management need to know how much fund is required in every department. For that, they makes an analysis by asking all the departments to send their allocations of fund required for their coming years. And after getting those records, they make a study, they makes a goal how much fund is required. So we have included, they prepare a master budget, that this much amount will be required in our upcoming projects, in our future plans and strategies. To create an organizational framework consisting of authority, responsibility, relationship. So they have to create a environment, they have to create a culture in the organization where authority and responsibility has a relationship simultaneously. It is not that you have given someone the authority without responsibility, and you cannot delegate responsibility without authority. The two things need to be delegated simultaneously, or you can say parallelly, to have a good accomplished goals in your life. Okay, so next they appoint departmental and other key executive. These managers, the top level manager executes, or they hire the basic required person to handle the second level of management, that is the middle level of management. They appoint different department heads, you call it HODs, you call it managers, you call it production manager, marketing manager. They are hired by these top level management. And the fifth basic function performed by a top level manager is to provide overall leadership to the company. To provide overall leadership to the company means that these top level managers, when they hire these departmental heads, they provide them a team leader. Whenever you are hiring a good employee, you need a good team also. When your manager is good, when you're working for a good manager, your team works for the utilized resources of the company. So these are the basic 5 main functions performed by a top level manager. Second comes your middle level management. What is a middle level management? Middle level management consists of the departmental head, branch managers, and the junior executive. The departmental heads are finance manager, purchase manager, etc. The branch managers are the head of the branch or local units. The junior executives are assistant finance manager, assistant purchase manager, etc. So these people executes the level of second level, that is the middle level management. They are basically the procedure followers, or you can say they are the link between the top and the lower level management. They doesn't perform, but they make performance to be done by the lower level management. So what functions they basically perform? The first, to interpretate and explain the policies framed by top management. These managers perform the implementation part. They implement and explain what policies the company has formed and how they need to be executed. To compile and issue detailed instructions regarding operations. They helps the junior management, that is the lower level manager, to execute the policies formed by the top management, and they provide a guidelines or an instruction manual to these people how the operation need to be taken out. Next, to maintain close contact with operating result so as to evaluate performance, to participate in operating decisions. The main close contact with the operational manager. That means the middle level manager have a very good relation with the operational manager, and they provides them with decisions, with helps, with guidance how these operational managers can make their team work for the organizational policies to be accomplished. So they provide a helping hands to the lower level manager as a friend, as a guidance, as a mentor to work for the organization. To cooperate among themselves so as to integrate or coordinate various parts of the division or a department. As I have already mentioned, that there need to be a cooperation and coordination without which an organization cannot exist. So it is the duty of the middle level manager to maintain a coordination between the top and the lower level. So because lower level has a face of the top management as middle level manager. They don't know about the top management, but they know about the departmental manager they are working with. So they provides a link between the top and the lower level management by providing them a coordination and a friendly environment where their policies, their decisions are heard, and that is working as a mutual understanding between the two. So these are the some of the basic functions performed by the middle level management. Lower level management. The lower level basically, as mentioned, are the foremen, supervisors. They are selected by the middle level management. It is also called as operative or supervisory level management or the first line management, because they are the real face who will be working with the workers, who will be working for the implementation of the company's policies and procedures. In every factory you can see a foreman, a supervisors, and they are having their different teams who works for the upliftment of the organization or achieving the objectives of the organization. The first function of lower level management is to plan day-to-day production within the goals laid down by higher authority. These managers first of all work on a daily basis. They plan for a week, 15 days, and try to achieve the organizational goals with higher optimum utilization of resources. Second, to assign job to workers to make arrangement for their training and development. The second most important function performed by a lower level management is to assign the perfect job to the perfect person so that little bit of training and development is required for more efficient and effective utilization of resources. So for this, they always assign a perfect work to the perfect person. Third, to supervise and control workers and maintain personal contact with charge hand. They maintain a supervision and control level. That means they visit the departments where work need to be done. They visit whether they are performing according to the standards. They measures the performance of the people whom they have allotted the work or the charge. Fourth, to arrange material and tools to maintain machinery. They provide tools, raw material, maintain the machinery, and look after all the elements are fulfilled or not in the factory or the lower level of management. and the last to advise and assist worker for explaining work procedures, solving their problems, etc. They provide a help to by advising, by solving, by hearing the problems of the workers faced in by the lower level management. So these are the basic functions performed by a lower level manager, or you can say we have discussed the functions that a top level, middle level and a lower level manager perform in an organization. So I will like to conclude my slide by giving you a glimpse of what we will be going to discuss in our next tutorial. That is, every manager has category, top level, middle level and supervisory level, but they have some different skills. You can see that there are three skills needed in an organization, that is a conceptual skill, human skill and a technical skill. Conceptual skill is formation of ideas, views, regulations, imaginations, and that is required by mostly from the top level. Then comes the human skill, to have an interrelation, personal contact with people, where it is mostly required in the middle level, where you works as a link between the top and the lower level. In operational level, you just have to need a more and more technical skills, that is the operational need to be done in this level. So this is what we will be discovering in our upcoming tutorials. So this is what we will discuss today, and I think you have got what I wanted to convey by this tutorial. And be safe, stay at home and feel good to be connected with Jenu. Thank you.